What's up, everybody? Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the south side of the city, and we're going to give you guys a real tour of the hoods and the streets of Louisville, Kentucky. Right now, we're somewhere around the south side of the city, like I said, and we're going to drive through the city and give you a real tour of all the streets of Louisville, the hoods at night. Louisville, Kentucky is now one of the most dangerous cities in the country, on par with Chicago and Detroit, according to preliminary information on
it just connected
violent crime. And so definitely a place where you really want to be alert. We're going to tour the whole city. We're going to get the tour of, I mean, not the whole city, it's a massive city, but we're going to drive through like the center of the city, show you guys as much as we can so you guys can get a feeling for what the city's like at night. Again, we're going to start the tour on the south side of the city, the south end. This is the neighborhood where Bryson Tiller and 2K Baby, two famous artists that you may have seen on TV in the last few little bit. Actually, just give it to me handheld, baby. So, those are the two artists that are from this neighborhood that have made it mainstream in the last little bit of time. So we're in the south end right now. Looks like there was some type of incident along, what do you call it, on the interstate. Looks like there was an incident because they have the off ramps blocked off. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but there's some type of incident right here on the off ramp. So they're not letting people get on the highway, which kind of messed up our video because we started the video off back in these neighborhoods in the back streets real deep, and we kind of had to reevaluate our plans because whatever was going down right here. Here's the cops blocking off the off ramp, so they got this whole neighborhood kind of taped off. I don't know what happened, but it must be pretty serious because they got the highway ramps blocked off on all directions, so it must be a pretty serious situation right above us right now on the interstate. Looks like they got 264 blocked off. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. I just saw smoke coming off the highway when we came in. We tried to start the video back in that neighborhood, but the police had everything taped off, blocked off, so there must be some type of incident on the highway. Louisville's a very dangerous city. In the last little bit of time, in 2021, it's actually become on par with Detroit and Chicago, like I said, with violent crime and murder. That's preliminary information that could change a little bit towards the end of the year. But Louisville's on track to being top 10 most dangerous cities by murder rate and by violent crime rate in the entire country. So this little drive here, while it's a smaller city than Chicago or Detroit, you always hear people talk about Chicago and Detroit and Los Angeles and Philly. Well, Louisville is pretty much just on par with all those cities at this point. But you don't hear Louisville being talked about as much as those other cities because it's just a smaller place. But definitely Louisville's not a city you want to play games in. It's just as dangerous as Philly, Chicago, and Detroit, according to preliminary information for what's going on. 125 people have lost their lives this year. Most people fame the west end of the city for having the most crime and most violent situations, but the whole city really, especially the south side, central, and the west part of the city, gets a little bit better on the east end. So, but a lot of people don't credit the south side for being as bad, but it's just as bad as the west end in a lot of neighborhoods. You really gotta be on point out here. You gotta be alert. That's the third year in a row that Louisville's lost people rate has been on par to record-breaking numbers, so more than the 80s even. So the city's in a very dangerous state right now. It is absolutely in a dangerous state, and last time we were here, you could feel it. How long was it? Like 4 or 5 months ago we were here? A little bit more.
a year ago.
It was almost a year ago?
Yeah?
No, it had to be a little bit less than that.
Oh,
Really?
it was like November.
November? Okay. Oh, so it's almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's even more violent now than when we came last time. We were able to interview a few people on the streets too last time. We were actually able to interview people on the streets here last time we came to town. So we did 2 different interviews last time we were here in Louisville. Now we're pushing towards kind of like north of the interstate, so this is kind of like towards the central part of the city now. Old Louisville's ahead, which is where the students are. As a city, you definitely want to respect and be alert in.
Yep.
We're on 3rd Street, I believe. It's 3rd Street, right? 3rd Street goes north.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Central Avenue.
All right. But yep, Louisville, on par to being in the top 10 most dangerous cities in the country. Between cities like Philadelphia, Detroit, and Chicago in that rank. That's crazy to think about.
Turn left onto Central Avenue.
And kind of as the name of that street suggests, it's kind of like the central part of the city here. Taylor, Berry, and Algonquin are two neighborhoods that are here that are pretty serious neighborhoods in the city. They've always been. Now, on this south end of the city, you used to have Iroquois housing projects, but that's gone.
Continue on Central Avenue for 1 mile.
We're kind of a little bit closer to the school here now. There's a lot of student housing just to the north of us, heading towards Old Louisville.
Churchill Downs.
Right there. Churchill Downs. I don't know if they still do that with all the stupid stuff going on in the world today.
Could you angle the camera so they could see that?
No, I'm not over the camera. Just leave it right where it's at.
Okay.
To the left of us is Churchill Downs. That's what the city is really known for. In front of us are the neighborhoods of Taylor, Berry, and Algonquin. There used to be a Louisville ladder plant back in here. I don't know if they're still in business. So many things have shut down, man. It's like, I mean, something like when we first moved to Kentucky in the 90s, we were getting paid something like $4 or $5 an hour to work in these factories back then. But rents were cheap and so were food and everything else. We're living in a whole new era. I remember one day at a gas station, the gas was under $1. So, you know, different prices for different things and different times. Is this Taylor right here? Taylor?
Yeah.
Is this Taylor right here? Okay. I'll take Taylor down. Seems like they fixed a lot of roads, man.
Head southwest on Taylor Boulevard toward Racine Avenue, then turn right onto Larchmont Avenue.
Delete that.
Turn right onto Larchmont Avenue.
We gotta turn on Berry. And Berry will take us to Dixie Highway, and we'll take that to the west end. Serious, we just tore it out. Louisville's a beautiful city. I mean, it's got really cool neighborhoods. You know, front porches is one thing that I love about the city. Like, you know, just about all these neighborhoods, you know, the styles are all the same. When you pull into these neighborhoods, just about all the houses are about the same. You know, you got the front porch going on. Is this Terry? No, that's not it. It's bigger. It's all bigger, man. That's Terry up there. Taylor, Berry. I'm trying to remember my way around here, y'all. Now the houses here, they're either bungalows. If they're bungalows, they're all bungalows, and they're all stacked up against each other. They all look the same, you know what I mean? And if they're, you know, shotguns, then they're all shotguns. You know, like all the neighborhoods, like they all look identical. You know what I mean? Like they all look the same. They got the same mark on all these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? What street are we on right now? Can you look at what street around there?
We're on Taylor.
Taylor. Dollar General Market. So is this Barry right here? I think this is finally Barry right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. That's what I love about Louisville. Like, all the neighborhoods all look the same. If they're apartments, it's like a freaking huge apartment complex. They all look the same. Now we're heading towards the west side, southwest side of the city. There's some hoods here that are very, very dangerous. Charlie Boo from Detroit has done videos in here. This is the Taylor Barry area. There's some apartments right in here on the left, which I'm probably not going to go into because there's just super dangerous places. But there's some apartments on the left that are super bad right in here. I'm not going to go in there right now at night, especially with the camera. But this is the hood out here for real. Back in here, these little apartments behind these little liquor stores and stuff back in here. Yeah. Definitely want to be alert out here. Very, very bad neighborhoods. You just got to be on point. Back in here, these little neighborhoods back in here, real hot. Here's the old Goodwill. Oh my gosh, bro, so many memories. But yeah, that's what I love about Louisville. If you look here to the left, you see all these houses. They all look the same, bro. Like every neighborhood in Louisville, like all the houses, they all look the same. Like when they built the neighborhoods, they just kept them all looking the same. Like I said, there's some apartments back in here that are really hood, but I ain't going in there at night. I did it in the daytime, but I ain't going in there at night. This gas station is usually pretty hot right here. And yes, there's a lot of clubs, little gentlemen's clubs in Louisville. That's one of the cities that has the most. I used to have a friend that used to live in Cleveland, and she came down from Cleveland and Louisville. She's like, look how much litter there is here. She was always like, man, there's so many of these clubs in Louisville. I'm like, yep, that's Louisville for you. This place has always been shady as crap. I mean, you got the clubs across the street. So, you know, it just lends itself for all types of stuff. Okay, now we're on Dixie Highway. This is Dixie Highway here. It's a pretty run-down district. See the flowers there as I put the flowers out for somebody that was lost there?
Yeah.
So this is Dixie Highway here. It's kind of a run-down business district. There's a few gentlemen's clubs, like the one here on the left. A few gentlemen's clubs. Like this one says, it just says 3 X's on the roof, and that's it. It doesn't even have a name. Adult book is what it says. Help wanted. Okay, not for me. But yeah, it's just a bunch of shady car lots and old businesses. There used to be a big flea market and then some rundown distilleries. You know, Kentucky's known for the whiskey and all the good stuff, and a lot of it comes from this area here. You know, I looked at the bottle of Hypnotic one day, and even though they claim it's a French product, it's actually made in Bardstown, Kentucky. And either the bottles or the barrels come from one of these big abandoned buildings that are over here. The address for the headquarters, because I was wondering, like, what is Hypnotic, you know? So I started to look into it, and big blue bottle, and sure enough, it had something to do with Bardstown and some stuff back in here. But I can't really remember. But the flea market's right here. If you ever want to have a flea market experience, if you ever want to have a hood flea market experience, I definitely recommend it. I've been here many times. Remember last time we went up right here, the first time there was a pimp?
Yeah.
Wearing like all pink.
Oh, he had his pimp friend that was wearing yellow with him.
You got to see real pimps. Katie's never seen hood stuff like that.
And they were driving around in this Cadillac convertible.
Katie's never seen a real pimp. They got real pimps in Louisville. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but during that visit, what's that, 2011?
Yeah, and they were walking around with canes.
They were walking around with canes, pimp suits, feathers.
I felt like I was watching a Cat Williams movie.
I don't know if they still do that here in Louisville, but I think that's a thing in the past, man. My uncle used to have a Cadillac, baby. White Cadillac DeVille with the wire wheels. He had a gold ring on every finger. You know, and like, man, Louisville's it's kind of like a Mac city if you think about it. I mean, between all the clubs you got, and then there's on the background there's a bunch of other stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know if they still have it like that, like that though. As open as they used to. But yeah. So GPS Park Hill. Well, Park Hill. I don't know if I want to drive through there tonight. We're almost there. I don't need GPS. We're almost there. I just don't know if I should drive through Park Hill at night. Gotta be real careful in Louisville, man. Louisville is like a beast of itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little corner hot right here too. What is that? A drive-through liquor store?
Yeah.
Dang, bro. I have that drive-through liquor store. White Castle.
I like White Castle.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to take me there.
I've never liked it.
He always took us on Saturdays when my mom was working. When we lived in Detroit.
Yeah.
He did a lot of things on Saturdays when my mom was working.
So I hear people tires spilling out. I'm nervous. Just gotta pay attention. Yeah, I'm gonna bypass on Park Hill probably. I don't want to go there at night. It's just way too dangerous. Park Hill is the most dangerous place left in Louisville right now. I'm near it, but I don't know if I'm going it. I can see the skyline already. It's different when we're doing Louisville videos versus like when we do Baltimore and Detroit and stuff, because we don't know where we're at in those cities or a lot of background information. But here in Louisville, like being from here, I do know the streets and all, so I know kind of where the hot spots are, and we're kind of drive through here and a little bit of background. I mean, they've done some gentrification. They've brought in a lot of buildings to a lot of these places, but it don't change nothing. You know what I mean? It really don't. It don't change anything. What street is this, man?
Hill.
Park Hill? What is it?
Hill.
Oh, okay. We gotta be real careful. Oh, Hill Street. Yeah, Hill Street cuts across some pretty tough spots. See the map real quick when you get a chance. Open it up. Open it up there. Duro Mart. These little gas stations in Louisville at night, bro. Always action. Thirteenth and Hill. That's really the hood right there. Louisville at night. There's so many people hanging out at that gas station. What the crap? Alright guys, so now we're moving towards like the west side of the city. It's a lot of rundown districts and stuff and little gas stations and stuff. What's the next major intersection we're gonna run into, babe?
Going into an industrial district.
Yeah. Just give it a chance. 7th Street. So we got Old Louisville on one side. We had to go the other way. Okay. You can see the skyline over there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people working at night, huh?
Yeah.
Exit. I should have took that exit.
What is that?
It's a factory. So we're kind of bypassing Old Louisville to the right. Old Louisville's kind of like student housing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of made this into like a highway. Okay. Kind of bypass kind of the worst of it to the left. But we can get back into the west end here in a little bit. Louisville cards. I gotta get my Louisville cards gear while we're up here.
We'll go to mine.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed I didn't find the Detroit stuff I wanted.
I can order it for you.
Man, they had this Detroit Pistons hoodie, blue and red. I'm telling you, it was the sickest hoodie ever.
I could order it for you when we get home.
I'll take Broadway on that way. Broadway's pretty dangerous. Broadway used to be the most dangerous street in the city because people like to cruise on Broadway. I don't know if nowadays it's still like that, but people would cruise on Broadway. So, in fact, there's even a few songs about cruising on Broadway in Louisville. So you gotta be. Broadway used to be pretty freaking dangerous, especially here towards the West End.
Yeah, I can order you the piston spotter you want.
They had it, not in my size.
I can order it in the size you have. You realize that, right?
Yeah. Y'all probably saying how Jose was scared of going to Park Hill. Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all no because it was But we're gonna go into the West End. How's that? We're gonna go into the West End. That's something right there. I remember when I was a teenager, I used to come to Louisville, baby. And when the cops would see the Florida tags, the cops would go crazy. Because they thought you were coming to, connect or, plug in. They would go crazy when they saw Florida tags. So you gotta be careful here. Like, when they see the Florida tags, they really, you know what I mean? Like, when they see Florida tags, they really just take it the wrong way. Like, the cops will pull you over and search you without a warrant or nothing. Yeah, they don't care here. They'll pull you over and search you without a warrant. I'm telling you, because when I used to come here to Louisville, like when I was a teenager, they would see the Florida tags, they'd pull you over, throw you on the floor. Like they're not gonna have a reason to pull you over. Don't need it, don't want it. If they see Florida tags, they're gonna pull you over because they're gonna just automatically assume because you're from Florida, you know. Louisville's a dangerous city, man. The cops would search you, they'd see the Florida tags and their eyes would open up and they thought they were onto something and they'd throw you on the ground. No search warrant, nothing. Just like they used to remember when you first met me and they threw you on the ground like that. It's just like that. Just throw you on the ground, search your vehicle without a part window, and they're laughing, high-fiving each other, thinking they got something, you know what I mean? Ooh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you ever think if a cop sees you with a Florida tag back in these neighborhoods, he ain't gonna want to search you? You bet he's gonna search you. He's gonna definitely search you.
Yeah, the look when we got pulled over, the look of those cops when they figured out I actually lived in the house.
Yeah, when they figured out you lived there. But that's why people get mad. That's why people get mad because crap. How you gonna? You know what I mean? Like, they don't even think. They're just they're animals.
Yeah.
They don't
like
think.
I was in right before everything started. I saw that officer in where we usually would see him, and he still recognized me.
He wouldn't even look at you in the face anymore. One time he pulled me over. After that happened, he pulled me over one time, and when he saw it was me, he just walked off and left. He didn't even say, "Look, they got it taped off." What happened? They got it taped off. Look.
Yeah.
Probably. They got it taped the crap off, bro. Somebody there? On the ground? Anybody on the ground?
I don't see anyone on
They got it taped off. You know what happened already.
there. Yeah.
You already know what's up.
Yeah.
Louisville, man. Crazy city. Alright, the feeling of airplanes flying overhead every second. Louisville's airport's top 10 biggest airports for cargo in the country. In the world or the country?
I don't know.
One of the two. Either way, their cargo airport is huge, massive, handles a lot of cargo. Because it's like the center part of the country. Something definitely went down at that gas station right there. You already know when it got tipped off like that.
Free TV when you buy furniture.
Yeah, but you're gonna pay for that TV.
Oh yeah.
You gotta finance it. You go in there and they're like, you gotta finance it. When you finance it, you're gonna pay, a piece of furniture that costs $500. You're gonna pay $3,000, but the person that's buying it doesn't have $500, so they only got $100 down payment. So they're willing to this gas station. Look how many people are hanging out, bro. Deep, man, deep. And they're on Instagram live streaming. You can see them with the camera out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, kid, I'm in the hood, dog. I'm in the hood, dog. Whatever, you know. Come get me. Yeah, Louisville, man. Louisville's crazy. Louisville is crazy. Somehow I miss it, though. That's what I don't get about life. Alright, guys, we're heading towards the west end of the city, which is the most violent part of the city. We don't have any water in here. I'm thirsty, man. Super thirsty.
We can get water.
Yeah, we'll get it. Definitely ain't gonna get it around here, I'll tell you that much.
No.
Hood out here, man. I grew up, I'll tell you guys a little bit something about me. I actually went to Whitney Young Elementary School, so I might drive by there. GPS, Whitney Young Elementary School. I went to Whitney Young Elementary School from kindergarten all the way up to 4th grade when I left Louisville. So I'll take you guys to the school that I went to.
Head west on West Broadway toward South 26th Street.
Bro, these
Continue
corner
on
stores
West
are packed.
Broadway
Look
for
how packed these corner
3/4 of a
stores are.
mile.
And then
Young
understandably,
Elementary School may be closed by the time you arrive.
yeah, of course. Understandably, because they don't have a Walmart on this side, they don't have anything. There's literally nothing on the West End where, like, if you need like a Walmart or something, like there's literally nothing on the West End. So of course the convenience stores are like, there's a Kroger's there. At least there's a Kroger's there, you know. But there's not a lot of anything on the West End. Like if you need something, there's not a lot of stuff. I think they just recently opened up on the, I can't remember. But they're building a Taco Bell right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to put businesses here. It's like there's like nothing here for the people that live here. There's like nothing.
Food desert.
Yeah, it's a food desert. Yeah, it's really what it is. GPS at school?
Yes, sir.
What's it got us doing?
It has us going up to past the expressway.
Okay. Is it gonna make me go up 34 for 30
In a
seconds?
quarter mile, turn right onto South 34th Street. West Coleman
34th Street.
Junior Drive.
Okay, we gotta be on alert. Seriously, you gotta be like really on alert. This is the West End here.
Would you prefer to be on a different route?
No, that's fine. We just gotta be on alert.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take you guys to the school that I went to from kindergarten to 4th. I went to the school. It's absolute.
Turn right onto South 34th Street, Louis Coleman Junior Drive.
This is it right here, 34th.
Yeah.
These little corner store hangouts, bro. But yeah, I went to school out here, and the school is probably 90% African American, and I
In a
mean,
quarter mile, turn left onto Vermont Avenue.
I miss my friends. Like when I moved from Louisville, these kids in these neighborhoods, they were like my friends, man. Like I really struggled when I moved to Florida a lot because I miss my friends here. I mean, even though I wasn't part of their community, bro, they took me in like if I was. You know what I mean? Like even though like I lived on the south side, I went to school here because Kentucky has this thing called it's called desegregation, where you know if you live in a one neighborhood, you got to go to school in a different neighborhood because they want to desegregate the city and they want to kind of desensitize children. There's a cop right there. Am I turning here? Am I keeping straight? There's two cops right here. Okay.
You keeping going.
Yeah. So they want to like, it's part of the desegregation that's still going on in Louisville. So even though I lived on the south side, they made me go to school here on the West End, and about 10% of the kids in this school were from other neighborhoods, and I was one of those kids. And even though I wasn't from here, bro, like these were my friends. They took me in, and I struggled when I moved to Kentucky. When I moved out of Kentucky, and I moved to turn right on Vermont, left, yeah. When I moved out of Kentucky to Florida, the first few years, man, I really struggled because I went from going in a school here in the hood of Louisville.
1,000 feet, turn right onto South 36th Street.
These were my friends. You know, I went from kindergarten all the way to 4th grade.
No need, just right along this road.
Yeah. GPS from here, we're gonna go to downtown.
Okay.
There's a school right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the school I went to. That's it right there. From growing up in a school in this environment in the hood in West Louisville, these were my, classmates I grew up with, my friends. getting uprooted, right, and taken to a rich area in Florida was a
Head west on
very
Vermont Avenue towards South 36th
traumatic
Street.
thing for me. Like,
In
if you went to
300 feet, turn left onto South 36th Street.
I mean, if you went to Naples Park Elementary
Turn
with me,
left
like,
onto South 36th Street, then turn left onto River Park Drive.
I'm gonna turn right. Actually, I don't know if it's a one-way or not. Yeah, but I'm gonna go this way. But anyways, you know, from growing up in this environment, which is, you know, the hood, we moved to Naples, Florida, which is rich people. If you ever went to school with me for like the first
Head north on South
middle,
36th
fifth
Street.
grade,
Turn left onto West Muhammad Ali Boulevard, then turn right
Muhammad
onto
Ali's a
South
one-way, right?
8th Street.
I'm pretty sure Muhammad Ali's a one-way. Oh yeah, because you can't go that way. Well, Muhammad Ali, it's not a
You
one-way, is
go
it?
this way.
Is it a one-way? I'm pretty sure it is a one-way.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you gotta go this way.
Yeah, it's a one-way. Muhammad Ali's a one-way. Alright, we'll do what Siri says.
Turn right onto South 38th Street.
You know, growing up in here and feeling like at home and accepted here, and then all of a sudden you get uplifted and get put into a rich neighborhood in Florida. Like, if you went to school with me in elementary, you know, fifth grade,
Turn right onto West Market
a
Street.
lot of you guys that are watching my channel went to school with me in, you know, middle school and elementary school in Florida with me, Naples Park Elementary. You know, I was nuts. Like, I hated it because I grew up in this environment, bro. And being taken away from this environment and put in a completely opposite environment, it was difficult. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard to adapt. Like, the first few years, I think in high school is when I think 7th grade is when I finally started to acclimate myself. In 8th grade, I acclimate myself properly to living in Florida. Because the first few years, like, even though I wasn't in Florida, my mind was still in Louisville. You know what I mean? From just difficult stuff. Moving to Florida was difficult. I mean, and all the way up to middle school, I wanted to move back to Louisville. Like, in my mind, I never, like, if you went to middle school with me, in Florida, you know what I'm talking
right
about.
Onto West Market Street.
I absolutely hated Florida at first, and I didn't feel comfortable, and I struggled, and I didn't fit in at all. I mean, the kids in Naples, they hated me because they're from a wealthy background, you know, and I'm from a more different background, so their outlook on life was not the same as mine. That car is flying. Bro, that car is flying through here. Be careful.
Continue on West Market Street for 3 miles.
So yeah, I struggled to adapt in Florida. Moving is tough for children. Let me tell you that if you're thinking about moving, even if it's a bad environment, like Louisville, Kentucky was a horrible environment. There was gangs, there was fighting all the time. It was a horrible environment. In my parents' mind, oh, we took him from a bad neighborhood, now he's in a rich area. So my parents are thinking, oh, we did him a great thing. But the thing is that those kids in those good areas, they've been in good areas since they were little, and they're not gonna like you when you move in there. You're different from them. You think differently from them. Like, first of all, the school systems in Kentucky are garbage, to be honest. I mean, these schools in Kentucky are pure garbage. They were basically trying to teach us how to read in the 4th grade. I mean, like, we were literally learning how to read in the 4th grade here in Louisville. I'm not even exaggerating. Because there were kids their parents wouldn't help them with their homework. Their parents had situations at home. So these kids, like, they really struggled. Like, sometimes they would come to school, and they would come to school, like, hungry and stuff. And it was, like, tough, man. Like, these kids, like, they were not given a fair shot at life. You know what I mean? Like, so we're in the 4th grade trying to learn how to read. Now, I will tell you this. There were kids right here in these neighborhoods that you could tell from kindergarten to 1st grade that we're going to be exemplary people in society. So if you live in a rich place and you think that everybody in the hood's bad and everybody in the hood's going to be blah, 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 let me tell you, in kindergarten, 1st grade, there were kids that you already knew. It didn't matter what type of situation they had at home. It didn't matter what type of hood they were from. They were going to be auxiliary. What's the word I'm doing? Outstanding, son. They're pimping. They're going to get their school on. They weren't going to let nothing get in the way of their education. And I remember a few kids like that. And they are successful today because we're still in contact with them through Facebook, and they are very successful today. And we knew they were going to be successful because from a young age, they were focused on their education, bro. They knew, even though they were from this background, they were focused. They knew they were going to be successful. Other kids, whatever problems they had at home, didn't let them concentrate very well. So I'm in Kentucky where they're basically trying to teach you how to read, to be honest. Is this a one-way now? No, not yet. And I moved to Naples. When I hit 4th grade in Naples, Florida, yeah, it was all rich kids. Now I'm going into school with a bunch of rich kids. And these rich kids, their parents help them with their homework. They might have they may have two. I went to Naples Park Elementary School. These are all rich kids. So I went from coming in Whitney Young Elementary School here in Louisville to being in Naples Park in Florida. Naples Park Elementary School, they were all rich kids. Their parents might have had tutors with them. Look at that Camaro, bro. That thing's pimping. You see that thing?
Yeah.
We're going to take 3rd Street South on the way out.
Okay.
And I'll take us right back to where they were heading back to.
Okay. No problem.
Stopping out here.
Huh?
I ain't stopping out here. What I was saying was totally different environment for me. So now I'm in this completely different environment where the parents give them the best. Not only that, like they're going to school wearing new shoes. Their parents made them breakfast in the morning. So a lot of people that are wealthy, they don't understand this crap whatsoever. None. Rich people don't understand this, okay? Rich people don't understand this about people coming from the city is this. These kids in Naples, their mama made them breakfast, put on brand new Jordans, put them in a luxury car, and dropped them off in front of the school where they were well fed. Well, they had new shoes. And when they got home, the parents would have taken them to the beach in the afternoon. Hey, little Joy, what do you want to eat? You want to eat little Cece's pizza? Let's take you there. Okay, bro, I remember getting to school in Louisville, and some kids would literally be hungry. You know what I mean? Like, and there's this one girl that she used to love to steal. And this is like in the 2nd grade, her like habit was to steal from you so she could. I was like, the good thing is that they had free lunch. Like there's kids that were literally like dizzy until they ate in school because at home they didn't have any food. You know what I mean? So, and this is what people don't understand about coming up poor or coming up rich is that people that come up poor, bro, you go to school and you're dizzy until they give you that free lunch or free breakfast or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? What you gotta say?
Yeah. It would make sense if it's like an area like this where they put the free lunches, free breakfast on the buses. Have the bus drivers hand it out to the students when they got in.
There's all types of problems with that. But,
yeah.
And I'm sure there's bus drivers somewhere in the United States that take money out of their salary to give food to a kid.
Yeah.
I know that it has to exist somewhere. We're going to get on 3rd Street South. Beautiful downtown Louisville, man. Yeah. Gorgeous. But this is what rich people, and if you're watching it you're from a better background, this is what you don't understand. That when I went to school here in the hood, there were kids that literally went to school dizzy until they ate. You know what I mean? Free breakfast, free lunch, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas mama put you in a Benz, she put on your Jordans. Okay, little Joey, you're going to school today. You know what I mean? That didn't happen for these kids. If they wanted to get their education on, it's because they wanted to get their education on. You know, from within them at a young age, they had to determine that. and it frustrates me that people from a better background, and one thing I've tried to do on my channel is teach people from a better background. Okay, wait, look up for 3rd Street.
Okay. People
from a better background, I think 3rd Street's the only one that crosses all the way across. People from a better background just don't understand that. They don't understand that these kids in these neighborhoods, when they go to school, they ain't wearing them new Jordans. They gotta walk home in some old raggedy shoes. They're not gonna go home to a warm meal. They're going home to like, dad's been drinking all day or something, you know, like. And I lived that, and then I lived the other side of it, where I would go to Naples Park Elementary School, and kids were making fun of me because, your parents don't buy you new shoes. Your shoes are fake. I remember that, bro. Like, that touched me deep. Like, driven to be successful that I am today, I can almost tell you that 90% of it are the flashback memories.
Close to 3rd Street. This is 5th.
Are the flashback memories of people in Naples, Florida, making fun of me because my shoes weren't real. Because I making fun of my shoes because my shoes weren't name brand. But those kids now, now they're not living in daddy's roof, now they're living under their own roof. A lot of those kids that used to make fun of me for wearing fake shoes, I've seen them at a Burger King drive-thru. And I said, what happened to daddy's shoe? What happened to the brand new Jordans? Is this it?
Yeah, this is 3rd.
3rd Street. What happened to the brand new shoes? Oh, you can smell these hotels. You know that chemical they use to like clean stuff?
Yeah. Daddy cut you off.
Daddy cut you off, so now you're working at Burger King, huh? Now I'm the one wearing them brand new Jordans, but Daddy didn't buy me these Jordans. I work for these. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Daddy didn't hand me these Jordans. I work for these Jordans. You heard me? Daddy didn't buy me these Jordans. I sweated for these. So it just blows my mind how I've seen kids with no opportunity at all in West Louisville, and today they're successful against all odds. And then on the other spectrum, here's a little rich kid whose parents gave him every opportunity to be successful and be something with their lives, and today they're working at a Burger King because even though their parents gave them money, gave them shoes, gave them breakfast, and picked them up from school in a Mercedes-Benz or a Jaguar, today you're in a Burger King because you didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were given to you, that some of these kids didn't get those opportunities. And if I sound mad to you, it's because I am, bro. You heard me? I'm mad. If I sound mad, it's because I am mad. Because I've seen people come from that background over there, be successful today against all odds through sheer desire. And here you, I watch kids with everything handed to them, bro, throw it away at a drive-thru at a Burger King. Kids that used to pick on me, ironically, kids that used to pick on me because I wasn't wearing the brand new Jordans. I was wearing the fake Converses. So if you think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding on how sometimes when people come from a poor background, they might seem a little bit too flashy, or they might feel like they show off too much of what they got. You have to understand all that background information, is that if you were making fun of me for wearing fake shoes when it wasn't up to me, and that's what my parents gave me, but now I'm working, I'm gonna have them brand new shoes. If you used to make fun of me in middle school that, oh, your daddy doesn't pick you up in a new car, your daddy picks you up in an old car. Now I'm gonna be in that new car. So when I see you, I'm gonna say, where's that new car your daddy gave you? Because it traumatizes you, bro. I'm telling you, it absolutely traumatizes you when you go through that abuse, because that's really what it is abuse, bullying in your personal life. You're bullied, it leaves a trauma in you. And you have to try to be superior to that trauma and conquer that oppression that you went through. But now, it's all up to you. Now you're an adult. And yes, you didn't have all those things handed to you. I get that. But that is by no means an excuse for you not to be successful. Because today, the only thing you need is a freaking phone in your hand If you're watching this YouTube video, you have a phone in your hand. That is all you need to be successful in today's world. I mean, quite frankly. And the people in your environment can hold you down. They can hold you back. They can hold you down and prevent you from being successful. They sure can. There's no doubt about that. GPS our destination.
Okay.
Lower the volume so that it doesn't say where we're going.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm just a little upset. Not at you guys or at life, but I'm just upset. Why is this guy walking so aimlessly? This dude's walking way too aimlessly. He's got no real direction. He's just walking. He's got no direction. He's just walking aimlessly. I'm mad at the situation because when I come back to Louisville, I remember these young kids who had nothing. They weren't given much, but they were just determined to be successful. It's weird that in my lifetime I've experienced both of those extremes, and ironically, when I was living the good side of that, when I was living in Naples, Florida, and somehow I wanted to be back over here for the social aspect of it. And that's why I'm kind of worried about where I'm at now, because I want to be in Florida for the social aspect of it. And that's really not where I needed to be. You ever think about that? Okay.
Huh?
That you're in Florida for the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's like what's better for you isn't always what you want for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
I think we're all right with what we have right now.
No, we're good. We are standing on our own 2 feet. That car right there crashed and everything. They just left it there.
Mm-hmm.
That's some crazy stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell there's crime. That car's got no lights on right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell there's crime in Louisville. Like, you see stuff that you can just tell. Like,
yeah.
This is a crazy city. All right, guys, we're in Old Louisville now. In the daytime, I would love to show you guys this neighborhood in the daytime because it's absolutely one of the most gorgeous neighborhoods in the country. Old Louisville is mostly student housing now, very densely populated. You can tell by the amount of cars that are here. These are definitely not single-family homes now, but they're historic Victorian homes, and it is one of the largest neighborhoods of this kind in the entire country. Only rivaled, I think, to New York City or something like that. I can't really remember, but Louisville's historic neighborhoods are definitely of interest, and it's kind of a shame we're driving through here at night. But in the daytime, these are beautiful neighborhoods. So there it is, guys, a tour of the real streets of Louisville. I mean, we saw the south side a little bit. We saw the central part of the city. We saw Dixie. We saw the West End. I took you guys to Whitney Young Elementary School where I went. Came up downtown, and now we're heading down Old Louisville. The only part we're not going to reach into is the East End, because the East End is kind of more of a fancy touristy area. There are definitely hoods on the East End as well. Back in the day, the notorious Clarksdale housing projects were on the East End. Just like Iroquois, Clarksdale is gone today. Louisville has got rid of its housing projects, which has kind of spread out those people throughout the whole city, which has probably led to the crime raise throughout the entire city, because now those people are spread out evenly throughout the whole city. Crime is more spread out. Back then, crime was concentrated mostly in Park Duval, Clarksdale, and Iroquois, and a few other places like Park Hill. Now in Louisville, it's more spread out because they got rid of the house. They wanted to get rid of the housing projects because there were concentrations of crime. But now those people from all those neighborhoods, now they're all mixed in together, and they still don't get along sometimes. So while you had like neighborhoods, like 4 or 5 neighborhoods that were certain gangs and certain cliques and stuff, but they were in separate areas. But when they got rid of the projects, now those people were all in the, like West End. A lot of people from the West End moved to the South Side, you know. So that caused a lot of uproar between communities and neighborhoods and stuff. It's just there were neighborhoods that just didn't get along. And I mean, for me, I knew even when I was little that I went to school in the West End, but I lived on the South Side. So what they were banging over here on, you know, eventually banging over here on these streets over here. And I'll be honest, there wasn't any in elementary school. I don't ever remember gangs or anything of that sort, to be honest. And there was bad kids and there was good kids, and that was it. There wasn't like they were gang banging. But overall, you know, the stuff that was going on over here in the West End wasn't the stuff that was going on in the South End. So you kind of in the back of your mind knew that these were kind of like separate stuff going on. But so now the projects are gone, but it's also contributed to kind of a lot of the madness. I think the lockdowns here in Louisville were horrendous. Louisville was one of the strictest cities in the country, I think, with their lockdowns. And I think it did a lot of damage to the economy. I mean, restaurants closing, people losing their jobs. Louisville suffered a lot more than other cities. They really took it to one extreme of you know, staying outside of the politics of it, but the city really did do a lot for locking stuff down. And it did a lot of economical damage to the city. But I want to get my Cardinal stuff while we're up here. Moby Dick. Yeah, buddy. Sandwiches. Now that right there, that's what I'm talking about right there. I've never had it.
Seafood.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I know it's famous. Look at this neighborhood, man. Look at all these houses. They look exactly the same. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Louisville's definitely a cool looking city.
The original cookie cutter with better cookie cutters.
Yeah. I think we might make it exactly to an hour on this video. I want to show you guys like from one end to the other.
Like the houses from this era, you got a catalog. I think it was like from Sears. It was like a really long time ago.
Yeah.
There was a catalog of houses, and then they just sent you the plans, and then you built it yourself.
Is that how these houses were built? Yeah, I would love to learn about how these neighborhoods were built.
Yeah, like in the 20s and before. Yeah, there was just like a catalog, and it told you how to build it or something like that.
It's almost midnight, guys. So this is a tour of a Louisville at midnight, just about. So yeah, guys, I mean, just about did a big loop through Louisville. There's also Wyandotte. We're almost back to the south end of the city here in a little bit. I want to end the video exactly at 1 hour to give you guys 1 hour of Louisville at night. But we're almost going to end the video just about where we started it. I mean, we did a big giant loop. Oh, there's a big shopping center back there. I hadn't seen that.
There was a Starbucks.
There was a Starbucks. Yeah, I mean, we did a giant loop around Louisville. No doubt about that. We did one giant loop around Louisville. I'm going to go back to that scene where we saw the stuff on fire. I wonder if I can make it. I don't know if there's enough time to make it to the south end. Probably not, to the south side neighborhood. I want to drive back to that scene where the stuff was on fire and see if what happened. I think they had the interstate closed. You couldn't get in on or off it, yeah. Look at the moon right over the stoplight. Louisville.
I'm very tired tonight.
Louisville. I'm dead tired. I mean, we started the day off in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then it's midnight and we're driving around Louisville. Dude, we go hard, bro.
Yeah.
We go hard for this YouTube. We're trying. And that's why I tell people, if you want something, you got to put effort, because life ain't going to just... If you want something, you got to put effort in. You can see the police lights over by the interstate.
Yeah, they're still there.
I wonder what happened at that gas station on the west end. That was quite the scenario there.
Yes.
Louisville. We're back on my side, guys. We're on the south side. Back in my neighborhood.
And there's a Kroger.
Kroger. We used to come to that Kroger.
Yeah.
The one right here?
Yeah.
We used to go to that Kroger.
Cool.
Yep, I remember coming to that Kroger. I think it used to be a Aldi's on the either Aldi's or Kroger's. I think that's it right there. I'm pretty sure that was it. We used to come get our groceries there. Either there or Aldi's. I can't remember. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
We used to go to Kroger on Saturdays. That was part of my dad's Saturday
routine.
Yeah, Saturday routine. We go to Kroger.
Bro, look at this gas station.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, there's always people showing here at night. It's wild.
I'd convince him to let us get Kroger movie because Kroger used to have really good movies.
Circle K looks so good. Let's see if I can make it back to the south side. I wonder what happened at that gas station though, bro. At the one over there. Looks like it must have been something went down for real because, you know.
Yeah.
They had it taped off. I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of ruins business for the night for the gas station, huh? No, they can't sell gas. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I saw something on fire earlier, so that's what I kind of thought it was. So now we can't get on the highway to go where we're going. Crap, we gotta
cut through
the city to get where we're going. That's not fun. Well, they still got the highway blocked off?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They got the highway blocked off, man. 264 is out of service. Look at the scrapper with the little kid out there. That's crazy. So this is back in the south side now. This is my neighborhood. I used to live in the Americana apartments. That was really rough. Luckily, my parents weren't there too long. They got us into a residential home that was really nice. Yeah, I will say we did have nice houses when we lived up there.
Yeah.
South 3rd Street kind of splits the whole city. It's a perfect street to give you guys a tour of the city because 3rd Street kind of just goes from one end of the city, as you guys have seen, right across to through town, you know. And 3rd Street kind of just cuts right through the city. Literally drove right through the city. Yep. Is that a fire truck up there? Let's see what's going on with that fire truck up there. These are bigger houses here on 3rd Street. They got bigger lots, so they're kind of like offset to the back. But this little area, this is Southside neighborhood now. Now this is a neighborhood where when I was little, I used to walk through all these streets out here.
You used to walk through that McDonald's.
Yep. Indy's right here, which there's one on Weston too. But this is the neighborhood that I grew up in. I used to walk all these streets at night, man. This is my neighborhood right here. Yep. Southland, Southside, all this crap. I'm not sure what's up with that fire truck. But yeah, we're back in my area here. I can't believe that hardware store's still there.
I'm sure your dad was a regular customer there.
At the hardware store? Yeah, he was. Yep. And the Americana apartments are right across the street. I lived there. That's when I first came to America. The first place I lived is Americana apartments. They're right across from us. Right there, you can see the Americana apartments. What a place to end the video, huh?
Yeah.
Americana apartments right across the street. Very hood back in there. I'm not gonna go into there right now because we already drove through there earlier. I don't want to drive around twice. But what a place to end the video. The Americana Apartments. Now they've been rebranded 1,000 times and they put different names on it and stuff, but it's still good old Americana.